The leader of a state agency said he'd rather burn law enforcement training tactics before releasing them to the public. That comment sparked an uproar from a civil rights group. But now one of the state's top cops says the public does have a right to know how officers are being trained on the use of force. News 13's Gabrielle Burkhart is here with more. Gabby?
Jessica, despite what the director of the state's law enforcement academy said, State Police Chief Pete Cassetta says the LEA always planned on releasing the records. There's no question officers' use of force has been under scrutiny around the state. So when LEA Director Jack Jones was quoted in the Santa Fe New Mexican saying he'd rather burn law enforcement training materials before making them public, State Police Chief Pete Cassetta, who's also an LEA board member, says that comment was taken out of context.
There was a lot more to that interview than the last comment he said. And I think, and I'm talking with Director Jones, he was referring to releasing anything that would give our officers a tactical disadvantage.
Cassetta claims the LEA, which oversees the training and licensing of cops in the state, will comply with public records request for training materials and handed us pages of academy curriculum. But things like officer survival and patrol tactics, he says, are another story.
That it's not that we're not going to release those two, but we're going to have to redact some of the stuff in there. It's a playbook, essentially.
A playbook, he says, that could put officers' lives in danger if criminals got their hands on it. That's what's at the core of the controversy, the LEA's new guidelines for use of force. The ACLU wanted to see them, so it filed a records request with the LEA.
I think the public does have a right to know how their officers are being trained.
With all the recent police shootings highlighted by the state police officer firing away at a minivan full of kids, Cassetta says he understands public concern with officer tactics.
I'm here to say, you know what, everybody calm down. We're going to release it. It's releasable, and we'll stand behind our training. And those tactics which I think will put, or we think will put our officers in jeopardy, we're going to hold on to those.
Chief Cassetta says they'll likely release the draft form of the LEA training materials by the end of next week. Jessica?
Okay, Gabby, every law enforcement agency in the state follows the basic LEA course material, but agencies like APD and state police have their own academies where they add on to that.